Welcome back everyone, Zaf here. In this video, let's cover the latest update we have in Legend of Slime and one of the latest codes. You don't want to miss out on those free gems. And real quick, if you have yet to unlock Lovecat, I do recommend commenting down below your referral code. That way your code gets seen and used much quicker. And if you are subscribed to the channel, I'll pin your comment to the top of the video. That way everyone sees your code and you have an even better chance of getting it used. We have some new updates in this game and apparently new packages. This one is actually kind of amazing, but the cost is absolutely ridiculous. $52 for all these items. Not bad, but we're definitely going to skip that since right now staging doesn't really matter too much. So let's go ahead and check out this new update. Let's go to the notices section and see what the new update is all about. So in our update notes, we have the 2.11 update notice here. You can see we have added filters for traits, which is very nice. I'm assuming we can finally skip over those S and SS traits, looking strictly for those triple S traits. And we have some new updates here for Slime Legion. We have an automated system for selecting the options there, which seems promising. We have added ring effects as well, based on the number of slimes owned. I can't wait to see what that's about. And they have removed the enhanced slime options and added new ring options, so I wonder what it looks like now. We're going to jump into Slime Legion and see what the update is all about. And they also added ring option modification. I wonder what that means. Let's quickly check out our ring inventory, see if anything's changed here. Everything does seem as normal. We still have that dreaded 30 count limit for our rings. I wish they would increase that, and I wonder when this ring essence will finally become of use. We hardly use it. We have over 50,000 of this essence with no use at all right now, so hopefully that changes too. But let's jump into Slime Legion, and wow, okay, it looks like if you have over 20 slimes, you get this bonus here, ring level +5. This one here provides 2, so these are all ring level bonuses and grade increases as well. So it looks like our ring starts at the B rank, which is very interesting. So we do get a nice boost. Now this does seem pay to win unless I'm misremembering how many free slimes we have. Let's do a quick count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 free slimes, if my count's correct, so not 20 just yet, but eventually we will reach that 20 mark, so not bad. I guess we aren't completely blocked out if we are free to play. So going back to this, it looks like we're now able to make some nice rings, considering we start at the B rank, which is quite amazing. We have this auto select for options. I wonder how that works out. No menu pops up, so I wonder how that'll work. We'll know once we jump in, and I don't know if this was the case previously, that the higher your ring grade is, the higher the chance that a better grade option appears. I could be mistaken, but if that is the case, I guess going for grade right away is better. I could be wrong, of course. More information on that to come out once we get a better sense of how this works. So let's jump in, and okay, our first selection was HP. That was applied right away. I did not select it, so I wonder how this auto system works. It looks like it went with grade that time, so I guess it just automatically decides which option to choose. As you see there, it's choosing it by random, I'm assuming, so maybe don't pick that selection option. I don't think it's good at all. We're definitely going to run this back and see what those options are. They do look different now, so just a disclaimer, it looks like you should not press that check mark for the auto selection. It definitely doesn't have your best interests in mind. I guess it just automatically does it, picking whatever random traits on the screen. It might have its own system for determining what's better, but that's definitely not indicative of the meta we go for right now. See, it should have picked grade there, but I think it took attack instead. Again, not what we want. So we'll go back and run this and see what these new options are like. And also, I don't think this was here before, but they added the blessing option here on the screen, making it much easier to access. That way you don't forget to get your refreshes in, because in the previous UI menu, I don't believe this was there. Then again, I have it unlocked to automatically do it for me, so I haven't checked this out in a while, but I'm assuming that's how it works now, since this definitely wasn't there before. And the new layout looks amazing. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this to change as well. You can see all our ring options are displayed here, but what is this change option? It looks like if you have the Slime Club membership, you're able to change your ring options. That's a bit crazy. Okay, this definitely wasn't there before. I wonder how that works. You can now change your ring options, ensuring you get an amazing ring. Very interesting to see. Mine just expired, so I may have to purchase it yet again, since now it definitely does look more worth it. But anyways, jumping back into Slime Legion, we're going to turn off this auto selection. This is probably good if you just want to use your keys and not waste them before reset. You can just leave the game running and it'll do it for you. Considering we're no longer getting those options to boost our slime stats, I guess this does make up for it because we were always able to push more with those bonus stats. So not a huge loss, and I honestly prefer that change, as I'm sure many of you know, with those options previously available, we're able to push in Slime Legion for hours and hours if you had the right knockback. So you'd just be stuck in Slime Legion all day, pushing away, picking those bonus slime options, but since that's gone, we no longer have to worry, so I'm very happy about that. That's a change I do welcome. So let's jump back in. We have this new ring option, HP Recovery. That was not available before, so I'm assuming this will increase the amount of HP recover if you have purple traits, for example. Very interesting. This could be meta defining, we'll have to see. Same with things like Warrior Breaker that do provide heal. This would boost it, so something we can definitely use. Let's refresh and see what else is available. Evasion rate, so we already know that. Let's skip on ahead and see what our next ring options are. Here we have normal enemy damage and enhancement of skill slots. Interesting. These are very new, so looks like we will have to do a ring video in the future, seeing what's better, since this does greatly change how things work for rings. Let's refresh, see what else is there. Again, HP recovery, companion damage is normal, so nothing new there. Let's move on and see what else is new. This is a very interesting change. I'm glad they're adding increased elements to the game. Attack speed is obviously a useless one. We do want grade, but it doesn't matter right now since we're just seeing what's available. Lots of HP recovery showing up. Let's refresh, again, normal enemy damage. We don't want that, but very interesting to see these new options. And again, when we do have this star at the top, I'm assuming there are two things. I'll have to go back and check. Either this is the highest amount for the ring option, or this is just refreshable with the pass. I'm assuming either or. I should really get the Slime Club membership to see how that refresh works for the options at the end of the screen. So yeah, looks like the star does indicate the highest amount for the stat. 5% is the highest movement speed amount. Again, everything is as normal here. Let's refresh. And yeah, so it does look like the star indicates the highest amount for each option. These are the highest amounts for them. So I guess you don't have to wonder if you got the highest amount. It is indicated. I like that change. Very user friendly. So the Legend of Slime devs are definitely making positive changes to the game, but hopefully we get more content to play against. Again, I've mentioned it in previous videos, but real quick, we have another new option here. We have companion basic attack damage. This probably isn't going to be a good one since we don't rely on our companion's basic attacks. We rely on their damage. If this boosts their damage, obviously we good, but we have companion damage for that, and we have companion attack speed. I don't believe we had this before. Again, a ton of new options for rings. Very interesting. And it looks like I spoke a little too soon. I ended up getting the Slime Club membership, and it looks like Ring Essence actually has a purpose now. Let's just pick a bunch of random stats here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's go all the way to the end and see how amazing this new feature is. I wasn't able to do it without having the Slime Club membership. I'm sure you can correct me in the comments if that's the case, but this might be a pay-to-win option only. If it is, then darn it, that is a shame for anyone who's free to play, but I'm sure that isn't the case. I'm probably just missing something. Anyways, you can go ahead and change the options on your ring. So I'm going to click this button here. We're able to lock the options we want. So let's say I want to keep this skill damage option here, and I want to keep this one here. Again, this is just a test. We're going to now click the change option button, and it looks like our options were refreshed. We were given completely new ones. So if I want to keep these ones here, I wonder what happens. Can I do another refresh, or am I hard locked now? Let's see what happens if I tap this exit button here, and I'm not able to click any of them. Let's see what happens if I press OK, and it looks like we're given a reward. So that is interesting. I did see a screenshot where someone is able to use Ring Essence for the refresh. I must be doing something wrong, and it looks like I figured out how the change option works. If we go to our ring menu, let's quickly head over there. You're able to click on a ring, for example. I'm going to tap this one, and we're able to click here the change option button, which is new, and you're able to lock the options you want, and the more options you lock, the higher the cost will be in dust. And then once you press this button here, you're able to change the options you had on your ring, which is kind of crazy, honestly. This means you can get perfect rings, I'm assuming. There is no end to how many times you can click this button, so everyone is now able to get the perfect ring they've always wanted, meaning this is such a nice free-to-play option. And I know everyone has so much dust, assuming you've been doing Slime Legion and not putting it off like me, you're able to now get an awesome ring, giving you more and more stages, but be sure to do this only if your ring is the highest level possible you can reach. So technically you can use any ring for this, but ideally you want some good traits on it. So if I go to the change option here, you can see all the good ones are starred. So realistically, I would only want to refresh these options, otherwise I would be losing out on damage, since these are the caps for the ring in question here. This would be an example of a perfect ring, where you have all the options starred, and you wouldn't want to change them at all, otherwise you'll be losing out on the best options that you already have, so there's no point for that. Again, it's awesome they added the star feature. So yeah, good to know we have a use for our ring essence now. I was telling everyone that the fact that he added it to our idle rewards means that it would have a purpose later on, and there you go, they added a feature for our ring essence. Also have a video coming up on the new slime, seeing how good they are, and be sure to check out our other videos. I have a bunch of videos on soul leveling Arise. If you watch the anime, you'll love the game, so check that out. I have some giveaways on those videos, so you don't want to miss out on those. But again, as I was saying earlier, the game is kind of stagnating. There's nothing really compelling you to push in the game. As you can see here, my level is 7777 because there's no point in pushing right now. You don't gain any bonuses, and there's no difference between pushing now and later. That's why I have no real purpose of pushing the game right now. I don't gain anything. Sure, you might get a marginal improvement in Dwarven King, getting more trait points, but really, I don't care enough to do that right now. It's gotten to the point where I don't feel like pushing is even beneficial. You can do it whenever you want. There's nothing at all compelling you to gain as many stages as you can, and that's what this game is missing in my opinion. These quality of life updates are good, but there's no real purpose right now in Legend of Slime. Sure, you can push, get a higher stage, you get some satisfaction from that, but there's no real end game. There's nothing you're really pushing for, and I think that's the one thing this game is missing. Sure, the numbers do go up for your stages, your ring amounts, etc., but what are we really pushing towards? You could say the purpose is pushing for more stages, but again, that does get tiring at the end of the day. You want further goals to go for, and that's the one thing this game is missing. If they do manage to add that, something players can really go after, something they can strive to beat or make strides towards, then this game would be even more successful. But again, we'll have to see if they add an update like that. The recent update with the faction event, honestly, was a big miss in my opinion. Let me just quickly exit that, and I'm going to get the Slime Club membership just so we can see what this change option is. I'll do that in a moment, but first I want to go to the faction war event. Honestly, the rewards aren't that amazing, and the event itself is very lackluster. You can see here we jump in, clear it, and that's it. Nothing to really strive towards. I know you get these rewards here once you do them, the cumulative challenge rewards. I did hear the rewards aren't actually applying properly. I'm going to test it out in this video, see if it's true. That being for slime tiers. Let's see what happens. So we got the cumulative reward here, and I'm going to just keep doing it until I find slime tiers. That way I can test it to see if there's an issue, and I'm sure you can tell I haven't really done this event at all. Again, the rewards aren't very compelling. There's nothing really pushing me to push in this game right now, so that's the one thing I'm asking of the devs, if they can add some new content that allows us to actually take advantage of all these stages we pushed, something to really reward us for all the progress we make. That way we are provided some incentive to keep pushing Legend of Slime and not just stay at whatever stage we're on, because staging doesn't really matter. Also in the comments, let me know what faction you're in. I'm in the village faction, and we are number 1. I didn't necessarily help since I'm just starting out this event, and I think it's different based on what stage you're in. I know for some people castle is number 1, so I wonder how that works. I didn't really look into it, so if you're on the village faction, let me know. Team Village, let's go. And one thing that pains me with this event is that if you have all these slimes unlocked, you have to deal with every single slime, assuming you want all the rewards. I don't necessarily care about the reward, but it hurts not doing the event, so I have to do it with every single slime, and it's a very painful, annoying process, but let's just do it anyways. I only have to click it about, 50 times based on how many slimes we have, so not the worst thing in the world, but I wish they would make it more automated, but it is what it is. And just on the note of getting more damage in and more progression in the game, this is what I mean. Take a look at this event. You can see we're capped at 320 for this event, meaning based on my current progression, there's not much else I can get out of this event. Again, with events like this, there's no real reason to have further progress in the game if you're getting the same rewards as everyone else, regardless of what your progression really is. It doesn't really matter what stage you are in the game, you can just play at your own pace, which makes me wonder who's purchasing all those packages. I know I haven't been for the longest time. I'm leaving all these packages unpurchased basically, since again, what's the point? We have a ton of slime tiers coming in. This 2000 magic core amount doesn't amount to much. It's only a handful of levels. I think for me it'll be around 4 levels, so what's the point in that? That won't provide you any progression at all. So Legend of Slime really has to look into that late game. I guess that's more of a me issue since most people aren't at that stage, but I do see more and more people get bored since they're not really pushing towards anything. So again, that one thing that's missing, I do see they've made some changes to things such as the slime pass. They've incorporated magic items, astrology orbs, the slime stones, stuff like that does make it better for late game individuals, since the slime pass previously was only to get the slime, but now the rewards are honestly very good. Getting it now does give you a slight edge with all these advanced magic item boxes and bonus tiers you're getting on top of those orbs. So this was a welcome change. These are the type of changes I do want to see in the game. And speaking of new changes, let's see that new auto change feature. So if you go here, you can see you can pick which traits you want appearing. That means when the trait system will stop. So if we pick triple S traits, we can start the auto change system, and I'm assuming it'll land on the next SSS trait, so we'll have to see. Just give it a second here. I'm pretty sure we skipped an S trait earlier, which I'm very thankful for. This makes the process basically automated at this point. Previously, you didn't have to wait and watch since we would get so many S traits coming in. This just makes this grueling system all the better. And if you remember previously, we didn't have this auto change feature before, so you'd have to watch the screen clicking this change button over and over and over again. It made looking for traits so gruesome, taking hours and hours of time. So all of you new players have it amazing. You don't have to do it manually, it's all automatic, so you should be thanking the devs for that. And there we go, we got our first triple S trait. Obviously critical chance is not something we want, so let's go back and start auto changing. And that save and load feature for traits is so nice. Again, I'm so happy they added that in. Otherwise, looking for traits after new triple S traits were added in would result in so much damage loss. So it was a solid implementation by the devs. And again, looks like we got another junk trait. I'm going to burn the rest of our trait points, not much left, and then I'll do the load feature for any of you who haven't seen it yet, just so you're aware how it works and you're not scared to use it yourself. Alright, so let's go to the load feature. And actually, I don't have enough trait points, oopsies. So let's quickly do Dwarven King, get enough trait points to load them back in. And also we managed to hit the 400 mark for chests, and still no legendary items. We are capped at the epic mark. That's another change I want to see, them providing actual good rewards when it comes to Dwarven King and how many chests you get. That way we do get some incentive for gaining more damage. That way we push further in Dwarven King, getting further rewards. So again, another thing that does need to see change is this very outdated dungeon. So back on our traits, we can load them in. Don't click this button, click the load button, load the save trait. The current trait will disappear, so let's load them in. And there you have it. It locks it as well, very nice. And we're good to go. No damage or HP loss. We're back where we started. Okay, and we are on the slime tier reward. Let's quickly see how many slime tiers we have. 5188. So let's go back and get that reward, see if it is glitched or if it's being given out as intended. So one more battle and we'll see if the rewards are glitched or not. If it is, well, we are definitely owed some compensation. So here comes the battle. Obviously we're being given all our slimes with one hit. We got our 5 slime tiers. Let's go back, see what happens there. Change, and no, we got them, so maybe keep an eye out. I see a lot of talk of people missing rewards, but I'm guessing they're just not keeping track of how many of the item they they had. I see it all the time with mining, astrology orbs, etc. So maybe take note of how many rewards you have prior to unlocking them. That way you know for sure that your mind isn't playing tricks on you. And that seems to be all of the updates in the game right now. There is the shop UI as well that has been reorganized. It definitely isn't referring to the daily event shop. That's all the same still. I'm assuming they meant the shop here, but I do see the change now. They have the monthly, daily, and weekly options here, and the gem packages, of course. Never buy these, not a good value at all. I haven't looked at these weekly packages in a very long time as well. Again, not the best value. You want to go for these packages probably. They are the best things to get. As you can see, 20 times value. How amazing. But if you find you're actually missing rewards, just go to the support section here, press the one-to-one inquiry, and submit a ticket. The devs will be more than happy to help you out, giving you exactly what you need. And here we go, one of the latest codes we have in Legend of Slime. The code is as follows. It is code 1E-B9D-966-A2D-286-C2. And there you go, enjoy the 25,000 gems.